Hey everyone, welcome to our next free webinar for business owners to learn how to social media. So today's topic is how do I engage on social media? This is something that is actually super important because social media is supposed to be social, right? So besides just posting and saying do business with me and do all these things, a really huge part of social media that is oftentimes neglected is this external engagement. So what I mean by external engagement is you are going out either as your person or as your business, and you are engaging with your partners, with people that you want to do business with your advocates, with your followers. There's so many things that you can do, and it can seem really overwhelming, especially if you are a business owner that is maybe tackling social media marketing on your own for the very first time. So what we're going to do with this webinar is I'm going to show you exactly what I mean by external engagement and how you can rock it just like your social media manager would typically do. Let me introduce myself. My name is Morgana Lebold. I own Red Door Consulting, and Red Door Social is my sister company that is our learning arm. So Red Door Consulting, we help small businesses with everything marketing. We have some clients that are strictly social media, and we have some that we help with general marketing ideas, fundraising, event planning, anything else that goes along with your business. And then also I have with me my adorable little puppers. So you might see her moving around, but Delilah is my rescue dog, and she is, oh, you can't see her face. So she is my little work buddy, and she hangs out with me while I'm working, and she's just the most adorable little thing. Hi. And she's very awkward, but I've had her for a year, and I got her from National Mill Dog Rescue, which, if you don't know about them, they are an amazing nonprofit in Peyton, Colorado, and they do wonderful things. They rescue thousands and thousands of dogs. So that is where Delilah came from, and she is just the best ever. So you'll see her moving around and being dog-like while we're doing this. So we are going to cover Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and LinkedIn, the major fours of social media. There are, of course, many other social media platforms. It seems like there's new stuff popping up every week. So we'll be going over these items for now, but if you have questions about other social media platforms or what best practices might be, go ahead and shoot them in the comments. Send me a direct message, and we will either get it answered or cover it in a future webinar. As a business owner or solopreneur, probably marketing budget is your top priority because you probably don't have a lot of expenses to be spending on marketing, especially from the beginning. So social media is probably your go-to for everything advertising and getting the word out for your business, which is definitely the right way to go. And you've probably noticed that throughout the years, Facebook has been continually changing their process or their algorithms. The reason for them to do this is to improve the user end and the user experience. But what happens when every single time they do an algorithm update, it ends up negatively impacting business owners. And some of these businesses, including myself, we are relying on social media to get the word out about our business. And if you have a very small budget, constantly being prompted to run ads is both frustrating and it's confusing if you don't know how to run social media ads. So this is where external engagement comes in. Social media is supposed to be social. I can say it a million times, but it's often a place where business owners are, they're treating it like a bulletin board. They're not really engaging. They're putting up their specials. They're asking people to do business with them, but they're not using social media for what it was intended, which is to let people know about you, know about your business, learn what your vision and your mission and your values are, so then people can get to know you through your computer. And then they can decide if they want to become customers and hopefully lifelong brand advocates for you. So by taking a little bit of extra time and effort and externally engaging on social media through these platforms, you will be able to see your reach grow, your following is going to be more loyal, and people really get jazzed and appreciate when a business is tagging them or commenting on their stuff. I mean, whenever I get a company that retags or reposts my things, I just love it. It makes me feel like I am noticed. So let's jump right in. I'm gonna go ahead and start with Facebook, and I'm gonna show you some well-known practices and a couple little secrets that I've learned along the way so that you can jump right in, start engaging with your community, and grow your social media presence for free. So I have my business profile pulled up already. Your business profile will be tied to your personal only in setup. So, but what I mean by that is if you have a personal Facebook profile, that's where you're gonna build your new business profile, but they're not connected in the way that somebody who goes to your business profile would see that that is your personal profile tied to it. So let me know if you have questions about that. But what we're gonna do is I'm gonna go to notifications. And this looks like a lot of notifications because I've been busy. So it's really best practice to check your notifications every day, keep your response rate high on your incoming messages. And really, if you could dedicate even 5 or 10 minutes every single day to your external engagement, you will see your social media grow. And instead of having to pay to play, which Facebook has become that kind of platform, you're really just trading a little bit of your time for very big returns. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna look at all of these notifications. The notifications are going to let me know who has liked my stuff, who's commented on it, who's sharing it, so then I can counter engage. So we are going to look at, so this is a great example of Facebook trying to get you to spend money. We're gonna skip right over that and we're gonna click here. So this is a notification that says these people liked my video. And what I can do, which is a little known secret, is I can click this button right here that shows the names, and then it will tell me if somebody has liked the page or if they have not liked my page, or if I've invited them and they've not yet accepted. If you see anybody here, like this one that says invite, you can press invite and it will send them through Facebook an invitation notification to like your page. This is a really great way to find new people who maybe you had no idea were interested in your stuff, and it just helps you to grow that audience for free. On the same post, I'm gonna look through my comments and make sure that anybody who had commented on my stuff, I've commented back. I'm gonna go right down here. We can see I shared my post. If this was a stranger, let's say that it was a customer or a prospective client who had shared this, what I would do is I would click on that post. It's going to show me what they shared, and then I could like that as my company, or I could comment, or both. So what I can see here is Morgana shared this video premiere, which is fabulous. And this will show you liking and commenting as Red Door Consulting. So it is very important as you're doing this to make sure that you are liking and commenting as your brand as opposed to as an individual. If you did want to change that for some reason, you can also click that button and you can go and it will show you different pages. So maybe if you wanted to do it as or comment as yourself, or if you had other businesses that you wanted to comment as, it'll give you those options. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna press like, and then I'm going to comment as Red Door Consulting. This is a good little way to double check that you're commenting as the right person. Thank you for sharing. Easy as that. And then I just press enter and that comment is live. If you needed to change the comment or edit it, you can press these little 3 buttons to edit or delete that. And then this is what that person is gonna see is Red Door Consulting commented on the status you shared. So if they're live on Facebook when you comment, it's a really great way to start a live human-to-human conversation and interaction. If they are not currently online, it'll just show up in their notifications. So as they're then scrolling through, they'll see that you commented, and people really love, I mean, it's just that little tiny bit that you can show people that you care, that you're a real human being and you're not just this thing behind a computer, and it's completely underutilized. Social media managers get busy creating content and doing all these other things that this often gets swept under the rug. And the other thing is, if you are a business owner and you're doing this yourself, I get it. It's hard enough to make those posts and to be consistent and to be engaging and create this really amazing content. So this often gets swept under the rug. And it is one of the most important things that you can do for your social media. So we can also go down here. If you see any shares, those are really good things to comment on. But to make it a little bit easier, you can go right up here and you can see likes, comments, shares, and others. So if you want to segment it by type of engagement, you can do that as well. So we're going to click on one of these comments. I always like to double check this just to make sure that whoever's available to like it has been invited. And then I want to make sure that I've answered all of these comments, or at least like ones that maybe there's not something specific I can say, but I could still like their comment and let them know that I've seen it. So I'm just showing you some random posts that had comments on it, and then we can always like or reply, but at the very least, like their post. One of the companies that I really love, there's two. So I'm gonna look at something, the Southern Colorado Women's Chamber of Commerce. I just adore this organization, and they do so much for the community. So it's always nice to share as your business someone else's post or an event or something that you're interested in, and it shows that on your social media you're doing so much more than just blasting out your own information. During this time, and as we come out of COVID, and as all these small businesses are really trying to get back on their feet, it is so important to share and advocate for those businesses that you love and really create this sense of community, which is very easy on social media. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to this Southern Colorado Women's Chamber of Commerce Facebook page, and I'm just going to scroll down to one of their events. The First Friday Online, that's a super fun one. And surprisingly, even though they've moved to virtual events, there's so much more fun too. I love being in my jammies for things, but it hasn't been taking away from the experience. The last virtual event we did in April was amazing for First Friday, and we did these really cool breakout rooms and all this stuff. Our technology is amazing. So I am going to share this event because I had so much fun at the last event. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to press share, and you can share with friends or in Messenger or as a post. So I'm going to share as a post, and I'm going to make sure that this is going on my business profile, not my personal profile. So what it'll automatically pop up is share on your timeline. And even though you're in business mode, this means it's going to post on your personal Facebook profile. So what we're going to do is we're going to click here, and instead we're going to share on a page that I manage. And then I can choose from all of my people Red Door Consulting. So I want to share this on a Red Door Consulting's page, and I want to write, a little something about why I shared this. And while I'm sharing it, I'm also going to tag the Southern Colorado Women's Chamber of Commerce. So what will happen is the Southern Colorado Women's Chamber of Commerce will get a notification that I have shared their post, or Red Door Consulting has shared their post. They will also get the notification that I tagged them in a post. So it's really great. As the Southern Colorado Women's Chamber, the hope is what they will do is they will see that and they will then counter engage. Oh, you guys know I can't spell. Okay, so short and sweet, But what I also want to do is I want to tag the Southern Colorado Women's Chamber within my post itself. So I'm talking about tagging that's different than hashtagging. We are going to start typing in their name, and you'll see that their information will pop up. So we're gonna say, I had so much fun at April's First Friday event with the, and then we're gonna do the @ sign, and we're gonna start typing in the name, the Southern Colorado Women's Chamber of Commerce. You see it starts popping up right here, and you can click that, and it's going to tag them within your post, which is what that blue highlight is. Great, and then we'll add in a couple of hashtags, Red Door Social, business community. I like to do one hashtag that relates to my business and then 1 or 2 that relate to the post itself. So one is content related, one is brand related. And then if I'm talking about a specific business, then I also like to use their tag. And to find something like that, you can typically just go onto their social media, see what tags they're using, and if you see one that is specific to their business, be sure to add that into your post, because what a hashtag will do is it will combine all that conversation into one area. So it makes it much easier to make those connections go even further. So we're gonna go ahead and post this, and I'm gonna show you how you can double check that your post was tagged appropriately. We're gonna go back over to my page, and we're gonna make sure that it shows the Southern Colorado Women's Chamber of Commerce was indeed tagged. Sometimes what'll happen is you think you'll tag something, or you'll tag something once and then you'll go back in and make one minor edit and it'll take out the tag. Or if you're using a third-party software like Hootsuite, sometimes those tags will be sent through for a platform like Instagram or Twitter, but on Facebook, it will instead show that @ symbol, and it does not appropriately tag that business. So if you have something where you definitely need a business to be tagged for social or for Facebook specifically, I would recommend going to your Facebook page and pre-scheduling that post using your publishing tools, as opposed to pre-scheduling that on Hootsuite. So we're gonna go down to this post, and we can see this blue turns into a link, and then it'll show me the Southern Colorado Women's Chamber. So what this will do for my followers is they'll be able to click on the event, but they'll also be able to click on the page and see who I'm mentioning, or they can click on any of these hashtags and see what conversation is surrounding those. Notifications and engagement for your Facebook page, they make it real easy. There's not a lot of guessing that you have to do, and there's really not a lot of planning. If you were seriously just take 10 minutes a day and just pick one business that you can engage with, it'll go so far. Now we're gonna move on to Twitter. So I've already logged into my Twitter account, and you can tell right here which one you're logged in as if you were to have multiple accounts. We can do a couple things here. This is my Twitter feed, and these are people that I may follow. What I want to do is make it a goal to tweet or retweet 5 times a day. And that sounds like a lot, but it's actually really easy. So we're going to go in here, 4 things to do once you have $1,000 in the bank. I like penny hoarder stuff. And look, this was promoted, which is why I'm seeing it at the top of my feed, even though I do not follow their page. If I like this, I can simply press this heart to show them that I like it. I can also retweet this if I'd like. And that means that it's gonna go onto my feed for Twitter. And I can retweet it by itself, or I can retweet with a comment. And then that will go onto my feed. So there's one. What we can also do is kind of the same thing that we just did with the Southern Colorado Women's Chamber of Commerce. If I'm not seeing anything that's, blowing me away on here, and there's a lot of politics, I would never recommend on your business profile to tweet about politics or religion, just because then you have the chance to ostracize people who may otherwise follow you. Love, love, love. So this has new features about Instagram. So I'm going to retweet this because her stuff is always great. And what I love to do, even though, especially if I'm really, really busy, I might retweet a bunch of articles that I want to read later and then go back at night and read all those articles. It's kind of a way for me to pin it and save it for myself, but at the same time, I want to share that information with my followers as soon as possible and as soon as it's relevant. And then if you want to tag somebody, it's the same kind of thing that we were just doing on Facebook. So you do that @ symbol, and then you can see that her tag is the same as her name, but it's important to know when you're reposting or retweeting to see, like MJ Business Week, this is their tag. Marilette Sanchez is @ Marilette. So it takes just a minute to find out what their tag is. You definitely want to make sure that you're tagging the right person with the right profile picture. It's very easy to tag incorrect people. Okay, and I love funny things. So this is funny. There are 2 types of cats in the world. One's all crazy and one's chill. So we might not retweet that, but we can definitely like it. And then we can look through all these things and just kind of see if there's anything last minute that kind of catches my eye. Otherwise, I'm going to do the same thing that I did before. And I know that the Southern Colorado Women's Chamber is SCWCC. So I'm going to go ahead and look at their profile. I'm already following them. And look, this is an awesome, Julie is the best. So I'm actually going to love this. I'm going to comment on it. Then this will show up on their profile. Reply. And then what they'll see is they are going to get a notification that I replied to that. See? Replying to SCWCC. They can see my tag is Red Door Social. And then I'm just going to go back because I also would love to retweet that because Julie really does so much for the organization. So I'm going to retweet this. So this will take their entire tweet and then I can put it on my profile. And I can put it with a comment or not. And then I'm also going to add, it is Administrative Professionals Day. Here we go. We're going to do the same type of thing that we did on Facebook, on Twitter. I think it's so important for us to, as we come out of this pandemic, to support local businesses. And these restaurants have been hit so hard by all these shutdowns. So one of my absolute favorite restaurants is Amanda's Fonda. I grew up in Manitou Springs, so they're just close to my heart and I adore them. So we're going to go through their feed. I've already followed them. And let's look at this tweet. They usually have really funny posts too. Planet Earth, the home of tacos. Earth is the only planet with tacos. So I'm going to like that. And then I can retweet it with a comment. And I just want to say this is one of my favorite restaurants. So you see, social media marketing, it's so fun. It can be so much fun, and it doesn't have to be this super serious thing where you're getting frustrated. There are ways to make this really engaging and valuable, both for you and for your followers. I mean, Twitter, gosh, and that's why I set a time limit on all of these. I could stay on here for hours, and that's the thing about social media is, it is a lot of fun and it is really engaging, and you start getting into these relationships and these conversations. And I would set a limit of 5 to 10 minutes per profile as you're engaging, because unless you have all the time in the world, then do it, but we want to be mindful that everything that we're posting, sharing, commenting on, it reflects your vision, your mission, your values. And that it also helps people to get to know you better. That's really what social media is about. You providing value to your followers, showing who you are, getting people to, get a little insight into what you love or what you enjoy, who you support, and all these things. So let's go into LinkedIn. LinkedIn, it does require a little bit more love and a little bit more time to grow, but it's definitely worth it. And depending on your industry, so, a restaurant may not need LinkedIn, but somebody like a Chamber of Commerce or a SEO company or somebody like me, definitely being on LinkedIn is beneficial. So what we can do is we'll pull up our business page. So you can see we've been posting some classes, just minor updates. LinkedIn is not something that we've been spending a ton of time on since COVID because everyone is on Facebook so often and it's become a lot easier to use. And then also Facebook ads are less expensive than LinkedIn ads. So when I do run paid advertising, I have been focusing on Facebook first. But as we're talking about external engagement, I want to show you again, sticking with the Southern Colorado Women's Chamber because they're just everywhere. We're going to go ahead and pull up their page. And as you're pulling up their page, you can, choose to visit their website. You can read more about them. You can see people, recent videos. So they have their posts that we just shared on Twitter about thanking their administrative assistant. This is a really great post about one of their members, and this member is Business Furniture Systems, and they are offering some tips and some ideas to help customers as we're all moving back into our offices and retail locations to help remain safe. So this is something that I feel very passionate about. So I'm going to like it, and then I'm also going to share that. And what I can do is I'm going to go ahead and share that onto my business page. So you can see it's now being shared to Red Door Consulting. And on LinkedIn, it's the same thing when you're trying to tag a business. You can do that @ symbol, and then you start typing in their name. And again, you just want to make sure that you're tagging the appropriate business. I usually go by their, even though this says Business Furniture Solutions, I saw their logo pop up earlier that was tied, it looked like it was tied to a different page. So it's here. So this is the correct one that reflects their logo that they're using. I don't know if maybe they had 2 pages and now they've moved to 1. Maybe it's a competitor, maybe it's somebody out of state. But for while you're double checking who you're tagging, just match up those logos if you can. All right, and then I'm just going to tag this as my business and their business and the company that I am sharing this from, which is the Chamber, the SCWCC. And then it's always a good idea, especially on your hashtags, just quickly double check your spelling. It's really easy, especially with these words running together, to misspell. And then I could go ahead and search for anybody else here, and then I have that ability to support my community, connect with businesses that I want to form connections with, share valuable information, and really get that cross engagement going. So maybe on LinkedIn a little bit more time, maybe 10 to 15 minutes a day. But in 10 to 15 minutes, if you do that on a consistent basis, you'll see your followers grow, you'll see your engagement grow, and you'll really get that sense of community that social media is supposed to be about. So we're gonna move right on to Instagram. You can still engage on Instagram and comment and build your audience actually just through your desktop. So I've logged into my account, Social Morgana. This is kind of my personal / business account. And what I have here is stories, that I've pinned that maybe it shows something that I want to keep for longer. And then as we scroll through, we can see, my posts. It's a lot of the dog. Things that we've been doing. So I kind of try to mix it in between business and my personal, glimpses, business, new hair, stuff like that. So, and food, of course. So as you're going through this is your own profile view. And then if you go to home,
you can see, all your friends, and this is your feed, just like you would see it on your cell phone. So as you're going through here, you can engage the same way that we did on Facebook and LinkedIn and Twitter. They're kind of all the same format. So you can like these, and then you can even comment right from here. So you don't have to do it from your cell phone, but it is very easy to do that if you'd like. And then just things like this girl is so inspiring. I love her stuff. So again, I'm just spending a few minutes liking things that are on my feed. And then if there's a business that I want to really engage with, the beautiful thing about Instagram is you can do that right as your profile. So I'll show you. I'm going to log into my actual business page. So we're just going to log out of here real quick. I'm logging into my business profile, and this is one of my favorite things about Instagram is that it's really easy to engage as your business. So instead of it being Social Morgana who's engaging, it's Red Door Social who's engaging with these other pages. So you see I could branded all of my stories. So I have best of the springs when we won, some Q&As, highlights about social media, about my life, and things about the business. And then I was doing a strategy for a while where all of this was kind of tied together. And I'll shrink this up for you so you can see. But it makes this really beautiful aesthetic. And I feel like on Instagram, this is one of the things that if you choose to go the strategy, it's one that you really have to keep for a long time. And if that's something that you guys are interested in learning about, we can definitely do a session about that. This is a lot easier than it looks to create. But once you start doing an aesthetic like this, then you kind of are stuck with it forever. So if you decide later on that you don't like this or that it becomes too cumbersome, then you're having to go back and redo your strategy. So it's not the ideal strategy for everybody, but I do like it. So what I would do, and I'm going to pull up another profile that does the same thing. And I just love this aesthetic. Like this, where it's all kind of cohesive. And you see what happened here. So they had 1, 2, 3. Those 3 went together. 1, 2, 3. Those 3 went together. 1, 2, 3. These went together. So what's probably going to happen is there's going to be another red one that'll be their next post. So then these 3 will all, these 2 and this invisible one that's going to be posted will all be cohesive. I could go into their profile, and just as an example of how I might engage with this, I would like it. And then I'm going to say, love your aesthetic. And then if I want to go through my own and check my notifications, so I can click this heart from my home screen and I can see who's following me. I can follow back if I want to. And then if you click this little arrow button here, that's kind of your messages. And if you're on your cell phone, that's going to be at the top right of your screen. And then you can see your messages, and then you can see all of your comments and such things here. And I actually love direct messages as a way of prospecting. So if I wanted to maybe talk to Copperhead Road, I could send them a message directly as Red Door Social saying, hey, I saw your stuff and I really want to work with you. And that's just a way, if I'm engaging with their page and I am also sending them direct messages, they'll start recognizing my name and hopefully engage back. And again, just spending 5 to 10 minutes a day on Instagram can yield massive results for your growth.
Thanks so much for taking the time to learn a little bit about how important external engagement is for your social media and for your business growth. And by just spending, 30 to 45 minutes a day, every single day, do it first thing in the morning or right before you go to bed. It's a great way to expand your business for free, get around that algorithm if you don't have a budget for ads, and get your name out there in a really creative way that just costs a little bit of your time. If you are a business who has a social media manager, or if you're outsourcing to an agency, this is one of the things that will set those people apart for your business and will really get you more ROI on your social media investment. So if you're working with an outside agency or you have a social media manager, just mention to them how, ask them how often are they focused on engagement. What are they doing to get people to your page for free outside of the ads? How are they thanking people? How are they connecting with people outside of paid advertisements? Because if they are not doing that, there's definitely room for opportunity and growth. So thank you again for joining us. I have decided that we're going to continue these webinars into May because there are so many businesses that are still struggling. And even as we're coming off of these strict stay-at-home orders and we're moving to the safer at home orders, I think that, there's still a major need in Colorado Springs and nationwide for people to be able to learn this stuff and have some free help. So that is what I am here for. I am thrilled that I have the ability to do this. And I just really appreciate, you tuning in, and I would welcome your feedback. So if there's something that you would like to learn about in the future, feel free to send me a DM or add it to the comments. And if you are really rearing to go and you just can't wait for the next webinar, we have a couple other options. You can purchase our content calendar that has 365 days of content, 366 because it was a leap year this year. It will work for literally any business. If you use the code SUPPORTSMALL through the end of April, you'll get 50% off of that toolkit. And I'm kicking a donation back to the Southern Colorado Women's Chamber of Commerce so they can continue their great work with supporting the businesses in our community. The other thing that I just rolled out is every Monday, I'm going to host a live Q&A, and that's going to be exclusively available for members of Red Door Social, which is our private Facebook group. I think the biggest thing is I just want to remind everybody out there who's feeling lost and that there is no option and you're just feeling really frustrated by all this and scared, that we are going to get through this. Colorado Springs is an amazing community. Americans are incredible. Our business owners, the way that they've pivoted and the way that they have really shown through all this adversity how strong we are and how creative we can be, it's just so inspiring. So if the least that I can do is just give some free social media tips, I'm so happy to be able to do this. I thank everybody for tuning in. And if there's anything that I can help you with, or things that you have questions about, I hope you won't hesitate to let me know. So we will see you next time. Be safe and be social, but safely social. We'll see you guys next time.